Okay, so I have a bit of a different LUSH experience than normal, I think. So I wanted to do sort of like a collective, like impressions as well as like a haul, if that's what it's called. I bought a bunch of shit today that I'm really excited about, but I have a bit of a different experience going into one than I think a lot of people will. So, long story short, basically, my mother is allergic to any synthetically created scents, so like chemical fragrances, most of which commercially are like perfumes and colognes. A lot of like hand lotions, a lot of cosmetics have chemically enhanced or chemically created perfumes in them. So that basically means that whenever she smells something that isn't from a natural source, like an essential oil, she gets very sick. She has been hospitalized because of this. This has been something that our family has been working through for almost a decade. So since I was about 10 years old, I have basically been restricted on buying a lot of cosmetics, a lot of shampoos, soaps, any hand lotions, moisturizers, face products, deodorants. Pretty much everything is incredibly limited in our household. So obviously I was heartbroken the first time I went into a Lush and was reading through the ingredients on pretty much all of their products and reading a lot of fragrance or perfume on almost everything. So the first time that I ever left a Lush with anything, it was maybe two products that just don't have any fragrance in them at all. I finally, like, for the first time a couple weeks ago, got the catalog. Every time I went into the store and talked to the people working there, they always told me, you know, not all of their products contain synthetic scents, a lot of them contain natural scents, but unfortunately on all of the product packaging, it doesn't specify whether it's natural or chemical. So I finally picked up the catalog and I was looking through, and I am so glad, because in the catalog for every single product that they sell, all the ingredients are listed on the products. So in green are all of the products that are naturally sourced and don't come from any chemical sources. All the products in black are things that are man-made or chemical or whatever. So, of course, I went through, you can tell I dog-eared all the pages, and I drew little red stars next to every single product that doesn't have any chemical fragrances in it. A lot of them, like, it does list on the products, it does say fragrance or perfume, but as long as it's printed in green, it means that it's natural or it's from an essential oil. I ended up going out today for two reasons. First of all, to pick up a couple of things that I needed for myself and to try out a lot of things that I found in here that I was super excited about. And also, number two, to buy her birthday present. This whole thing is, I think, the reason why my whole experience in shopping in a Lush is so different from a lot of other people, because they're not going to have to worry about these kinds of things. And it sounds really menial to someone who doesn't live in a household that has to worry about this, but it's so severe to the point that she has been hospitalized for days because, you know, she's been around someone that sprayed Axe. It's a nightmare. So finally being able to experience something that everyone else seems to be experiencing and enjoying is such a godsend that it's honestly like, I can't even explain how excited all of us are. One of the first things that I actually bought from Lush, actually the very first thing that I ever bought from a Lush store, I went in and I only came out with one thing because I was so certain about it, is a bath bomb. I had to know the illusory bath bomb. I had to know what it did and what it was like, so I ended up buying this one. And I like it because it's specifically designed for little kids, so there's like absolutely nothing added in it that doesn't need to be there. And yeah, it smells so good. It smells so much like chamomile. It's so nice. And it's designed to, like, you know, put kids to sleep because it does have the chamomile and the lavender. It's supposed to, like, it's a calming sort of sensation. Unfortunately, I've realized every single other bath bomb except for the robot all have fragrances in them that aren't natural, which is really quite a shame because there's so many that I want to try. The day that I bought this, I was actually telling one of the women who works at my local Lush basically about my situation, and she was very informative. There wasn't a whole lot in terms of what she knew the difference between like a chemical scent and a natural scent, but she did know that there was one product which didn't have any scent at all, which she gave me a sample of and I fell in love with immediately. It's pretty much like a staple in terms of Lush products from what I can tell, but it's Angels on Bare Skin. So I went back and I bought a giant tin. This is my second tub of it, like in this size, but this one is one of my favorites as well. I use it like every day. I really like it. I think it's really great. And then eventually after she gave me that sample and I went back and I knew a little bit more about, you know, all the things that I could get, I was still focusing on pretty much anything that didn't have any scent at all. I ended up getting a little tub of this. It's the same one that I bought the first time, so this is my first run through with this. It's the Ultra Balm. The main ingredient of it is beeswax, but it also has like almond oils and some other kind of wax. I don't use it quite as often as I use the Angels. I use it maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. I find that because it's so like super moist, I find that if I use too much of it, it's overpowering. So and then I also ended up leaving with the Ultra Balm. It's basically the same kind of thing as the Ultra Bland. It's like no added scents, no nothing, super moisturizing. But this one is like 3 ingredients, and that's all. I use it mostly on my feet and my elbows because I have incredibly dry feet and elbows. I have used it on my face once, but I don't feel the need so much to use it on my face as I do like my extremities, like hands and feet. But that's another one that I've really been loving, and because it is 3 ingredients, it's just like, it's super basic and it does exactly what you need it to without any extra bullshit. When I got those, I ended up getting a sample of a face mask, which I wasn't sure about when I did buy it because she said there was fragrance, so I got one of those like little like sample containers that they send you home with. And I ended up on that trip picking up the catalog to look through, and I found out a lot more about all the products and stuff, and I realized that this mask was one that was safe. And I was so excited because I tried it and it was so fun. It's the Mask of Magnaminty. So I got the self-preserving version, which has just in general a little less scent than the regular mask does. It's super cooling, like the feeling of it on your face when you rub it on, it just, it feels like refreshing, like even just to rub it on. So I use this usually once or twice a week. And mostly after, like right after I take a shower. That was one that I definitely fell in love with right away. And lastly, the 2 things that I got, which are, well, this one that I didn't really care for, the bubblegum lip scrub. I do like a lip scrub. I think that the effects of it are really great. I am not a fan of the flavor. They were out of the mint juleps. That was the one that I wanted to get initially, but they didn't have it in the store. So I ended up opting for the bubblegum. Not really my kind of flavor. It to me just tastes like the fluoride that they give you at the dentist, or like cough syrup, which is really not my jams. I do really like the effect that it has. I think that if I had just bought the mint juleps and tried that the first time around, I would enjoy it a lot more. For now, I'm stuck with the bubblegum, and I'll just sort of, you know, force my way through it. The smell of it is fine. Like when I smell it, it really doesn't matter. But it's just like when it's actually on my lips and then when you eat it off, I don't really like it. I honestly, like most of the time when I do use it, I don't even eat it. Like it says that you can eat it, but when I use it, I really don't. I just wipe it off with a washcloth, so that's just me. I'm sure that people who really enjoy sweet things, like the weird people out there who do like the flavor of cough syrup, I'm sure that this is right up your alley, but that's all I can think of when I use it. And lastly, I got this. It's called Grease Lightning, and the main component of it is tea tree. I'm already familiar with a lot of products that contain tea tree. Tea tree is really good for you. It's another one of those really hydrating like products that you can put in things. So I was really excited to try this one out. and it's another one of the products that has, obviously, natural scents instead of artificial. I am assuming that the scent comes from either the tea tree oil or some sort of tea tree extract. This one's main components are thyme and rosemary as well as tea tree, so it's got a very, like, not necessarily like spicy flavor, but very like, I mean, it smells like my mom's cooking. She basically sold it to me as specifically a spot treatment. So for anyone who has like acne or spots or like cystic scarring and stuff like that, she said that this is really good for that. You take like little dabs of it and you just dab it where you have spots or scars or anything, and it basically will clear it right up, which it has been doing. But she also recommended that you can mix it into moisturizer and then put it all over your face just as like a prevention tactic if you do have like bouts of acne, which I do have. So I've been using that pretty much every day as well. I use it every morning and every night. I've been really enjoying the effects of this. I, in fact, because of pretty much everything that I've been using from LUSH, have really been cutting down on a lot of makeup that I use every day, because I used to be one of those people who did a full face every day, so like foundation, like concealer, you know, contouring and highlighting and powders and everything, and it was just clogging me up and I had so much acne to worry about. But right now, all that I'm wearing on my face is a tinted moisturizer, as well as the grease lightening underneath as sort of like a base, like a primer. So I've been extremely impressed with all these products that I've been using. I have really only been going to LUSH, like I said, for like 2.5 months maybe, and I'm already seeing incredibly positive results. The Angels on Bare Skin is definitely one of my favorites. Second up is probably Grease Lightning, just because within, I think, 3 days of using this, I have noticed immediate results. So that was, I guess, the impressions part of it from what I have used. So now I've got what I got today. I ended up getting a bunch of shit. First off, the thing that I think I am the most excited for out of anything that I've ever bought, because a lot of the bath bombs are chemically scented and I can't use them. And of course, in tandem, all the bubble bars as well, pretty much all of them have chemical scents. The one bubble bar that I can use is the Bright Side bubble bar. And I am so excited for this. It's basically like a citrus smell. It's like oranges and lemons and shit, I guess. This one is the one that has 3 different citrus oils, so it's just like, it just smells like oranges and lemons, basically, like fresh squeezed oranges. I'm hoping that it's gonna turn everything like orange and red and yellow and everything. I hope it's gonna be really colorful, but I'm also super excited to see the bubbles, because it has been years since I've had a bubble bath. Secondly, the next thing that I got, which I'm a little bit sad about, like, it's bittersweet because I did get the last ones that they had in the store, but I found out yesterday that these are discontinued. This is their new batch of the discontinuations, and supposedly they're just gonna replace them right in with like a new version of it. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be that great, but I'm also hoping that it'll be good. It's this one. This is Stepping Stone. It's a pumice and sea salt foot scrub. So it's sort of the same thing as like the Angels on Bare Skin. You mix it in with like a bit of water and you get it pasty, and then you rub it on your feet. I'm hoping that it's good, just because I do have dry feet and a lot of dry skin on my feet. I pretty much always have at least 2 blisters on my feet. So I'm really excited to see if this is gonna help either combat the blisters or reduce the amount that I have. But at the same time, I really don't want it to be that great because it is discontinued, so whatever they replace it with, I hope it's better. But I am really excited because it smells really great. It's got citric acids in it, so it's another one of those like orangey, lemony. It smells more like lemon. It smells like a lemon, like I just squeezed a lemon. This is another thing that I'm really excited to try too that I got today. It's the Dark Angels Charcoal Scrub. So it's sort of like the twin sister to the Angels on Bare Skin, except for that one's like an almond based and this one is a charcoal based. So I actually got a demo of this one in the store. The woman was super sweet and she did it on my hands, so I'm really excited to see what it does for my face. But the experience that I had, it was really rough and gritty, so it's really supposed to clear out any dry skin, any problems, any like pretty much everything off your face that you don't want there to be. I think I'm mainly going to use this as a nighttime just so that it really does take out any makeup that I've been wearing over the day, any oils, anything that I've come in contact with, because it's so intense. I'm hoping that it's really gonna, like, basically take off everything from the day that I don't want there to be anymore. So yeah, that was everything that I got. Hopefully this is interesting for some people. If anyone else has issues with like synthetic scents and fragrances, I hope this was helpful. I did, like I said, end up going through the entire book and tagging everything that is safe. So I definitely encourage people to do the same. I think it is really important for people to really go through and read about, you know, what they're using and what they're putting on their body, and being mindful for other people, because I know that my mom is not the only person that I've ever met that does suffer from sensitivity to fragrances and synthetic products such as these. I'm hoping to use the new products that I bought today and hopefully have some good news. And I also hope that this was interesting, so thank you so much. I'll put some links to some shit because I do stuff other than talk at my computer for 40 minutes. Also, can we talk about this bag? The fact that, like, there are two rabbits fucking decking it out. How awesome is that? Go Lush.